the top, what is growth mindset? Partner one will say, a growth mindset is, Partner two will say, I heard you say, I want to add on that, Any questions? Okay, let's pair share. Your partner one. What do you think a growth mindset is?
I think a growth mindset is about brainstorming.
What do you think? What's a growth mindset?
Tell me more.
Like you think, like when you stop and think for a moment. I think it's a growth mindset.
So I hear you saying that part of having a growth mindset
It's just like brainstorming.
is stopping and thinking and brainstorming. So that tells me that having a growth mindset is really important for doing your best thinking.
Okay.
Right?
I heard you say
I want to add on
growth mindset is like a
that
brainstorm.
when I think of having a growth
I want to
mindset,
add on
I think
that
about
it's also trying your best.
that it's okay to make mistakes. Have you ever heard that before?
Yes,
Yeah? Do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree with you.
Because
Use a growth
Because,
mindset to improve in school when it's hard for you to keep
It's
a
important to
growth
keep
mindset at
like
school.
for example,
It's
scientists
mostly
use
not
mistakes so
hard,
they can
but
learn their
It's hard.
mistakes.
It's hard and
you
easy
can
at
learn
the same time.
from your mistakes. Awesome.
So we have to look at the chat.
Guys, let's try and finish up in 3,
Two.
2, 1. Raise a quiet hand if you would like to share out what you talked about with your partner. Diego.
I talked about with my partner. Wait, if this?
Yep, we're still thinking about the very first part. So we're saying, what is a growth mindset?
I heard my partner say that growth mindset is like a brainstorm, and I want to add on that it's also like trying your best.
Tell me more about that. Or tell us all a little bit more about that. What does it mean to try your best?
Trying your best means like never giving up and
keep going.
trying your best.
Never get frustrated. Never panic.
I hear lots of great ideas. I hear, don't give up. Try to not get too frustrated. And what did you add on?
Don't panic.
Really important. Try not to panic, yeah. So we're going to talk about some strategies to help us with those things today, okay? Would anybody else like to add anything before we move on about what they already know about growth mindset?
No.
Think for a minute. Is there anything else I know about growth mindset? If you have an idea, show me at the quiet time. What do you got, Luis?
Or mine.
We'll come back to it later, okay? Okay, next we're going to do some group discussions. Or did you want to share something, Jesus?
I think I want to add on to Diego that sometimes scientists use mistakes so they had to repeat it all over again so they could learn.
Oh yeah, learning of your
Mistakes. Repeating your mistakes.
get better and better.
So, would anybody like to say back what Jesus was just thinking in their own words?
Like
Go for it, Diego.
like
What was he saying about scientists making mistakes?
if you do like a mistake, don't get frustrated or don't get mad at yourself and don't think you're not smart, but still keep on going and you can do it.
Those are awesome ideas, and that's a great addition to what Jesus was saying, right? There's Jesus, I want you to repeat what you said so Diego can hear your idea too, because you had something really important to contribute. Can you say it one more time for us?
I wanted to add on Diego because sometimes scientists make mistakes and they repeat it all over again so they can learn their mistakes.
They learn from their mistakes by trying again, and maybe like changing something to try and do it a little bit better the next time.
Yes.
And then the next time you can learn, you will know how to do it, and you won't see what's the mistake,
And you won't get frustrated.
Awesome. So we're talking about how it's important when you make a mistake, try not to get too frustrated and try and remember that it's a chance to learn and to do even better the next time when you repeat it, right?
Nobody is
Awesome.
perfect.
I love that you said that. Give me a little bump there. Nobody's perfect. I am definitely not perfect.
I'm
Nobody in this school is perfect.
Not the
Nobody in
smartest
this world is perfect. But we're all
Making mistakes.
making mistakes all the time, and we're all trying to
President?
learn from those
The
mistakes.
president too?
Even the president.
Woo.
I bet if you asked Barack Obama, have you ever made a mistake? He would laugh and say, "Oh, I made a lot of mistakes, but I
Well,
try
you
and learn
met
from them."
Barack Obama.
Now we're actually going to talk about some other really famous people. I have not met Barack Obama.
Steph Curry's famous.
I've already picked out our people. Our first person is a basketball player. It's not Steph Curry, but it's Michael Jordan. Raise your hand if you've heard of Michael Jordan.
He has shoes.
Awesome.
Yep.
He does have shoes. Many people think that Michael Jordan is the best basketball player ever. But guess what? When he was in high school, he wasn't good enough to play on the high school team. What does that make you think? Luis.
I think he was trying his best. I know, like it's like if it was a test, like if he didn't made it, or I think he was trying, and then that's why he be the best player. He never gives up.
Really important thought. Yeah. Does anybody want to agree or disagree with Luis or add on to what he had to say? We'll all have a turn. Thank you guys for being such patient listeners. Luis, or Jesus, go for it, and then Diego, you'll be next, okay?
I want to Diego go first.
That's fine.
Thanks. That like imagine working as hard as we can just to play in the basketball, and he wasn't good enough, and then he became like one of the best basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
And then imagine how many days would that take?
What do you mean by that? Can you tell us a little bit
Like-
more? When you say imagine how many days that would take, what are you getting at?
Like if you don't know nothing about like one sport that you really want to play,
Mm-hmm.
and you will still need to take like more than 1 week just to learn how to play the rules, and then to become the best at it, it's going to take like at least 1 year.
So you think it would take a really, really long time?
Add like him.
Please do. Please add on to what
I
Diego was
add
saying.
on like him, like it's just like if he was like if he was I think like if he had his dream was to be the best ball player, he tried, he get better. It's not baseball. I mean, basketball to being the best player in basketball. And he tried, and then he was good. And that's how he began.
Awesome.
He trained himself.
I want to just pause for 1 second. Jesus, I'll let you speak next. I just want to hand out this sheet. I meant to do it at the beginning. I made a mistake. See, I made a mistake right while we were talking about making mistakes. But you know what? I'll try and learn from it, right? And I'll try and remember to pass out all of my materials right from the beginning next time. These are called academic discourse moves, right? And you guys will have already been using some of these moves, right? We've been adding on to what other people have been saying, but I wanted everybody to have this just to kind of help us in our conversation. So if you feel a little stuck, these are some sentence starters to help you start your idea, okay? Now, Jesus, I know that you had an idea you want to share. Go for it.
Okay, what do you think?
I have a question.
Go for it.
How come basketball players, for example, Curry, how they got famous? How?
Let's see if we can think about that question in a way that uses growth mindset. Okay? Because that's our focus for today. So I still want to think about your question. I think we can tie it into our conversation about growth mindset. So how did Steph Curry use growth mindset to help him become really famous? What do you think, Diego?
I think that he's like a regular player, and then he got so good. He was like the best at playing with just his friends, and then he went to a stadium for they could like see if he's good enough to play in the show, and then people thought that he was good, so he started getting famous, and people started liking him until he got famous. And like LeBron James, he even took out shoes, and lots of people still wear them.
I'm going to ask you to pause there, okay? I have a new question. Thinking about Michael Jordan and Steph Curry, these people who have become amazing basketball players, right? Do you think that they were born with all that talent to be amazing basketball players?
No.
Or do you think that they had to work really hard?
Work.
So is talent something you're born with or something that you make?
You
Make.
make something.
What do you think, Luis?
Uh,
Is talent something you're born with or something that you make?
you make
Why do you think that?
because Mr. Cam, he said that Curry, he said that he was. I think how he'd be good, that maybe he could be good by studying a lot and practicing.
That's a super important word that we haven't really said yet today. Practicing. Do you think that Michael Jordan and Steph Curry practice a little bit or a lot?
A lot.
Yeah. Do people with growth mindset practice a little tiny bit or do they practice a lot?
A lot.
Is Michael Jordan?
Why do you think practice, I'll get to that. Why do you think that practice is so important? How does it help us have a growth mindset and how does it help us improve? Jesus, can you leave that on the table? You're showing me that you're being a serious scholar and taking your work really seriously. So again, the question is, how does practice help us improve? Diego.
Because if you practice helps you improve by if you practice a lot, you could get better in it and better until you could become famous.
Fantastic.
Or like my little nephew, his name is Julian, and I think he's 3 or 2 years old. And I think I could see his future already because he likes hitting people, and I think he's going to become a boxer.
Yeah.
He knocked down my tooth once when it was loose.
Oh no. Well, it's a very positive way of framing that story to say that he could become a boxer one day, and it's nice of you. It's nice of you to
sometimes
think
they
of it
could
in a
change.
positive way.
Sometimes they could change.
What do you mean?
They
It's
could
just-
like
Hold on one second,
for
Diego. You just had a
example,
chance to share, now I want to hear from Jesus.
Like they instead of boxing, they changed soccer. Instead of soccer, baseball. Instead of baseball, basketball.
So maybe he'll take that energy and use it in another way, like
Yeah.
for another sport. Okay, great. Let's take a pause. All right, everybody take a deep breath. Let's take one more big deep breath. Okay. Go ahead and turn the page. We won't have time to talk about both of these other people who I put on our sheet because we had such a big conversation about Michael Jordan, and that's fine. But I wanted to ask, has anybody ever heard of Albert Einstein?
it's the guy that made the cartoon Einstein.
The cartoon Einstein is named after this scientist. I want to tell you a little bit about him. Albert Einstein is one of the greatest scientists that the world has ever known. He's one of the greatest scientists that has ever lived. But guess what? He didn't start to speak until he was 7 years old. And guess what else? His teachers said that he was not good at academics.
What is that?
That's
Like
like things we do in
scientists.
school, like math and reading and science. So when he was a boy, his teachers thought he was not any good at being a student. But when he grew up, he became world famous for being an amazing scientist.
Is he still alive?
No.
Good question. He's not alive anymore. He lived a long time ago. Okay?
Like
What time?
So, if Albert Einstein had a really hard time in school and his teachers thought he was not a good student, but then he became an amazing scientist, what does that make you think about?
I think I know something.
Hold on, just let me finish the question, Luis. And I really want to hear from you. I'm excited that you're excited to share. Do you think that Albert Einstein was born smart, or did he have to work really hard to get smart?
Work.
Thumbs up if you think he had to work hard. Thumbs down if you think he was just born that way. Thumbs up?
Oh, wait, what?
So if you think that was confusing, let me try that one more time. If you think that Albert Einstein was born smart, show me a thumb down. If you think he had to work really hard to get smart, show me a thumb up. Jesus, why do you think he was born smart?
Because when I heard you say when he was 6 he did not know how to talk, but when he grew up he worked.
So does that mean he was born super smart, or did he have to work really hard to become smart?
Hard.
Does that mean, do you want to change your answer?
Yes.
Tell me why.
Because when I say over here, how do I explain it? Can you say something?
Give Jesus just a moment longer to think for himself. So I want to give him a chance, okay?
Because one thing that I noticed in the text, that right here it says, but when the boy, he had a hard time at school,
Yeah.
it makes me think that he was studying harder and harder, so he could not fail his school.
He had to work really hard to do well in school, right? It wasn't easy for him, definitely. Would anybody like to add on or share another idea? Please.
The thing that maybe I think I know that when he was when the teacher said that he wasn't even good, he didn't give up. I think he just studied and studied.
Definitely.
He got work because
Definitely.
he won't never give up. Because if he just did that, he will never be good or smart.
Awesome. I'm going to ask Diego to share our last comment, and then we're going to do just a tiny bit of writing, and then we'll be all done with this activity. So let's put our eyes and ears on Diego.
Don't get to do next time.
What did you want to share, Diego?
I want to share that Albert Einstein wasn't like born smart, but he was
He did.
well, I found that out that he wasn't good enough to be like a student, and he didn't knew science or anything. And he didn't knew how to talk till he was 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he worked super hard because if you didn't knew how to talk since you were 7, you would need to like hear people and learn what they say, and like I think he also needed to use silent language, and kids like that are already like 2 or 3 years old already know how to talk,
Right.
and then
That's what
So
I'm saying.
yeah, you were. I heard
I
a
have a
lot of that
connection.
from you too, Jesus. Hold on just one second. I just want to share what I heard Diego say. All right? I hear him saying that it must have been really hard for Albert Einstein if he didn't know how to talk until he was 7 years old, and that must have meant that he had to work extra hard, right, to overcome that challenge, right? And that makes me think about growth mindset, because it must have been really hard for him to be in school, and he must have felt really nervous sometimes and really anxious about doing well, because people were telling him he wasn't smart and people did not think he could be a good student. But did he quit?
no.
No. Did he work even harder?
Yes.
And that's what I want all of us to try and do every time that something feels hard. I want us to take a deep breath and say, if I try, I can do better. Hold on to your question for now. We'll have a chance to share after our next activity, Luis, okay? But I want you to have some time to read that book you were thinking about too, okay? So the last thing that we want to do is turn to the last page. I'm going to get us some pencils. And we're going to do a little bit of writing, okay, guys? You all had awesome ideas about growth mindset today, and I want you to write some of that down to help us remember. And then when we're doing all these tests and these important activities at the end of the year, and it feels really hard and we feel a little frustrated, we can look back at what you wrote, and it'll help you remember that you can have a growth mindset and that it will help you. Okay?
Wait, I don't get this.
So we're going to talk through the questions, okay? how would you define growth mindset? That's the first question. So that's like, what does it mean to have a growth mindset? So you could write, having a growth mindset means,
Oh, okay.
Okay.